this is just I have taken a simple dashboard from here. I'm just clicking on a particular chart. So today's topic, right, is like our day-to-day sessions will be right covering all over SAQLs, like whatever we do on dashboard, right? It's from simple to complex, we can cover everything. So today, if you see, when I click on this particular data set, you will be able to see, right, like what I've added here, like, right, it's just a count of rows. By default, it will provide me the count of rows, right? But initially, we can do some calculations from here. Suppose if we want to take amount, right, you can do it from here. Suppose instead of count, you need to take the amount. That is also possible. And if you want to take the count, you can do that. And likewise, if you want to take an average, right? So what you can do, average of amount, that is also possible. Okay, here in the groupings, what need to be grouped? Okay, on what dimension we need to group it? Okay, for example, if you are taking the account name, so based on the account name, it will be grouping of the values. Okay, so how you can do that is you can make it ascending or descending based on the amount. If you want to do it on amount, that is also possible. Okay, so I did not go to SAQL. This is just a drag and drop, and each and every option, whichever we have done is like just by clicking on it, we are able to get all this output here, right? For example, if you need to edit the same via SAQL, right? So why we need to edit it? Suppose if we are using any bindings or if you wanted to pass any parameters dynamically during the runtime, then we'll be using the SAQL. Okay. So for example, here, what I did now was see, we have an account name, right, and amount. Okay, these all things are there. So first step in the SAQL is it will load the data set. For example, whichever data set you have, it will load the data set. And what I did is I took the sum of amount, right? I did not take only the measures. I have taken the dimension also. So whatever dimension I have picked up, it is it will be first grouped because we are using the aggregate functions here, like sum and count, right? So based on that, it will be grouped. And if you see, I sorted it on amount. So same thing you will be getting it. It is sorted by amount. And by default, the limit will be 2000. It can be increased like based on the requirements which we get, but normally we keep it at 2000 for now. So later on, if required, we can keep changing it. Okay. So you have an account name here. Okay. Suppose if you wanted to group by opportunity name also. So how to do that? Right from left side, you can take the opportunity name from here and you can switch here, right, in grouping. Let's suppose if you want to take a dimension and use it in an aggregate function, then what you need to do is you need to add these values here. Okay, it will be added here, and this has been added in the group now. So what happens is even though you did not add it in the query, it will be grouped accordingly. Okay, so suppose if I am running it, right, so the values will be grouped according to the requirement. See now it has been grouped based on the amount and the values. Okay. So if you want to check that, right, you want to see the opportunity amount, opportunity name is also along with the account name. Then what you can do is you can add this here. Okay. So like I said, this can be done on drag and drop itself. Like when doing drag and drop, we can add the dimension and measures here and we can get this value. So suppose if you see that, you can see account name, opportunity name, and you are able to see the amounts, right? It is this is an amount, this is account, this is an again average of amount. Okay. So for that, what you need to do is like so you wanted to change the alias name. How to change the alias name? After as any other value you are providing, that particular value need to be changed accordingly. Okay, this will be amount. And if you want to term this as count, you can term this as count. Okay, and this will be average of amount. Okay, average of amount. And one thing I did not change here, right? When I run it, it will give me an error. Okay, you can tell me what, right? For example, if I'm running it now, it will give me an error because I have changed this to amount here, right, in the for each statement. But in the for each statement, whenever whatever records we have, that is the only thing which we are going to get as an output. I've changed this as an amount, but in the alias I've changed, but I did not change to the order book. So we need to change it at the both the places. Only then you will be able to change these values. Okay. So I've done this changes. Okay. So now you can switch to any particular chart whichever you need, right? And based on the requirement. Suppose if you wanted to see this as a stacked column chart, right? That is also possible. Okay, it can be bringing you values from the stacked column chart. For example, I'm adding it to the dashboard. Okay. So this one, right, I have used the SAQL to do it, okay. But ideally, we don't use SAQL to do it. Why? Because it takes some time because we need to query it. Once and one more disadvantage of that is once it's not a disadvantage. One more function of that is whenever you change that right to an particular chart, right, from this particular chart to this particular value, right, you cannot edit anything from here. For example, I'm trying to click here, right? Or trying to add a column. I'm not able to edit anything. The only thing is we can format numbers, right? If you want to format the numbers in a round of function like this, that is possible. And for count, if you want to format it, that is possible, right? And account name and opportunity name, any formatting like renaming you need to do for this column. You don't want to show this as a count. Okay, you just wanted to show that as total opportunities. Okay, you can change it here. Only these things we can do. Only the labeling things like changing the name and the values is possible from here. But technically, if you want to change the values, that is not possible from here. So if you want to change anything after editing it to SAQL, there is no other option. We need to continue through the SAQL and change the values. Okay. So before editing anything, if you wanted some values from the drag and drop, then you can use that. But once you do that, then you need to start editing to the SAQL. Okay, for example, here, right, we don't need anything, right? For ideally, we don't need anything to do via SQL. Then why we have switched to SQL, right? For example, now, until now, I don't want to use anything, okay? But suppose in future, if I need to edit something, right? Or if I need to edit a limit, this also can be done from the dashboard itself, okay? But for now, I'm editing it, the limit, okay? So what you can do is, okay, mm, based on the amount, dynamically, if you want to change the values like top 5, top 10, and top 15, right? Only based on the selection or anything from the dynamically you need to provide, right? So during that case, you can use this. For example, to do that, these are all called as a selection bundles. Okay, so how to do that? Create a custom query and say top 5, top 15, sorry, top 10, top 15 and all. Okay. And I add a value here. I need a text value. Okay. I'm just adding it as 5, 10, 15. And for all, I don't want to give anything for now. I'm just keeping it as it is. Okay. And I'm clicking on done. So you can see this, there is a static step added. And I need to display this in a toggle. So I've added a toggle here. Okay. And I'm just going to add this here. Okay. So, for this, right, for this session, you would like to understand what this load does, right? What this load does, and I think you are able to understand what it is doing, right? For example, what this load does. Load will load the opportunities data set into our SAQL, and group by is one thing which we are going to group these values based on what we need to do. And if you see the for each generate, it is the main query which is going to give us the result. Okay, and this order by is the one which is going to give us order by discipline numbers. And this is also been limited by 5. It means that it shows top 5 values based on this ascending or descending which we do. Okay, so I'm just updating that. And after that, if you preview it, right, I'm clicking on top 5. Is there anything changing there? Nothing is changing there, right? So for example, if you need to change, okay, all these values, first one thing is you need to grab this query name from here. This query name is more important, okay? This is a static query. We can grab it from here. And if you click on this chart and if you go to this advanced editor, you see here advanced interaction editor, right? This is more important, advanced interaction editor. From this advanced interaction editor, we can form any kind of query from here. For example, I need a static step, right? From that, which one I need, right? I need a text to which I'm going to display. And there are two types. There is an interaction type, this is a source data, and there is an interaction type, which is result and selection. I'm going to do a selection here. Just copying it. Once you copy this entire statement will be copied. And instead of this limit place, right, what I'm going to do is, this is a query which we have found, right? Like actually, if you see, if you go to any graph, this is the query which we have found already. Okay, for now, I'm saving as this. Okay, this is expected because you will get an error message. Okay, why you are getting this error message is because you did not select anything. Ideally, if you select anything, it will show you top 5, and it will show you top 10, and it will show you top 15, as well as it will show you all. Why all is not working is it is trying to pass a null value here. Okay, because we did not provide any value for null. Okay, for example, you assume that there are 10,000 records, right? So what you can give is like maximum value you can provide it for this one. For example, if you want to provide 10,000, you can provide 10,000 for this. Okay, and you can save this, and ideally what you do is like, for example, 5, 10, 15, and all will bring you the all values. Okay, so what you can do now is like, to make to you are getting this error. If you want to get rid of this error, what you can do? Okay, so ideally, there are two ways to get rid of this error. Okay, one is like pick up the initial values. Like if you pick up the initial value, top 5 will be initial. So whenever this dashboard is loaded, right, you can give us a this one like an initial value. Okay, so I'm saving this into uh, sales analytics because I'm trying to build a sales analytics app. Okay, so this is how you save this dashboard, and once you save this dashboard, you'll be able to see everything here in the dashboard. See, now I'm clicking on top 10. What is happening is it is bringing me the top 10 results. Okay, and if I want to see what is happening in the query, okay, just click here in this note, drop down icon, and click on show details, and click on this note icon. Okay, so if you go here, it will form the query. Okay, so from which data set it is coming from, and how it is being grouped, and how the forest statement has been formed. And based on that, it will be grouped, and it will be showing us the results accordingly. Okay, this is the original query which we written along with the binding, and this is the results which we are going to get. If you click on 10. But if you click on 15, right, this is the result which we are going to get for 15. And for all, we have given the 10,000 records, right? So ideally, it will try to bring all the 10,000 records, but total records is 671. So it will be able to show the 671 records. Okay. So in this chapter, right, for example, this one, you make sure that you are able to know about how to load the data set, how you are able to group the data set in the SAQL, and how you are passing it dynamically by editing the SAQL. Okay, these are all the concepts, right, which I wanted to cover on SAQL level 1. Okay, so moving forward, we will see all the syntaxes and whatever the syntaxes which we have, right? We will be covering it one by one. So this is up for the today's session. So anything required, just let me know. Okay, thank you guys.